Today, we're going to pull back the curtain and look at what it really takes to build a next-generation learning tool. This isn't just about throwing some text on a website. It's the whole journey from messy, complicated code to a truly intelligent AI textbook.
But let's start with a big question. What if your textbook wasn't just static pages of text? What if it could actually understand you, know your skill level, and adapt itself in real time, just for you? That's the huge idea we're diving into.
So the dream here was massive. The goal was to create a dynamic, interactive textbook for one of the most complex subjects you can imagine. We're talking about a book that can literally talk back and have a conversation with the student. And what was the subject? Physical AI. Yep, the actual brains behind robots that exist in the real world. This is the stuff that lets machines see, think, and move around. So yeah, it's a seriously tough topic to teach and an even tougher one to learn.
And just look at the scope of this project. This wasn't some little pamphlet. It was a full-on 10-chapter curriculum. It covers everything from the heavy math foundations all the way to advanced topics. The scale of this thing was just enormous right from the get-go. So you've got this incredible vision, right? But then reality hits. And for the developers, that reality was something they called the wall of errors.
I mean, this quote, pulled straight from their development logs, just says it all. Can you imagine? They had not one, but three different backend servers all trying to run at the same time, basically fighting with each other. It was just a recipe for pure chaos. And this really shows you the huge gap between the dream and what was actually happening. The dream was this smooth, personalized AI experience. The reality? A 404 error on the homepage, a backend that wouldn't even turn on, and a chatbot you had to constantly restart. It just wasn't working. And this is where things get really interesting. This was the turning point. With the project basically drowning in errors, they didn't just try to fix things line by line. They brought in the cavalry, a specialized team of AI agents designed to fix the problems and actually build out the features. So how do you even make a textbook smart enough to answer your questions? Well, the key technology here is something called Retrieval Augmented Generation, or just RAG for short. This is what gives the textbook its brain.
Think of it like the world's best open book test. You ask a complicated question, and the AI instantly skims all 10 chapters to find the perfect answer. But here's the best part. It then shows you its sources, pointing to the exact paragraphs in the book where it found the information, so you know it's not just making stuff up. And to make all this happen, they built this team of AI specialists. You had a book writer agent that actually wrote the chapters, a RAG filter that acted like a librarian for the AI's memory, a personalization agent, a translation agent. You get the idea. It was like a whole assembly line of AIs, each with one specific job.
Okay, so with this AI rescue team in place, the project finally started delivering on its big promises. Let's take a look at the seriously smart, polished features that make this textbook so special. Now this is the main event, personalization. With just a single click, an entire chapter can rewrite itself, on the fly, to perfectly match your skill level, whether you're a total beginner or an expert. That is an absolute game changer for learning. And here's exactly what that looks like in action. On the left, you've got a concept explained in simple terms for a beginner. On the right, it's the exact same concept, but now it's for an expert loaded with all the rigorous math. The AI generates both versions from the very same source material. It's incredible. And they didn't stop there. They also packed in that awesome RAG chatbot, an instant translator that's smart enough not to mess up the formatting on code blocks, and this super handy tool where you can highlight any sentence and ask the AI to explain it in more detail. So this brings our story full circle. We started with all that chaos, conflicting servers, endless error messages. Now let's look at the beautiful simplicity they ended up with. Remember all that complicated setup stuff, the databases, the command lines, the API keys, all of it was boiled down to this: 2 simple steps. You double-click a single file, and you refresh your browser. That's it. From total chaos to a single click. This quote from the final developer notes just says it all, doesn't it? It's a declaration of victory over complexity. They took this fragile, chaotic system and turned it into something that just works. So, after all that, was it worth it? Let's look at the final grade. We can actually measure the success of this project with some clear, really impressive numbers.
Well, this was all built for a hackathon, and those advanced AI features, the personalization, the translation, the whole team of agents, earned the project a massive 150 bonus points. That is a huge testament to just how innovative this thing really was.
But maybe the most surprising fact in this whole story is the cost. To run this incredibly powerful personalized learning platform, it costs between $5 and $15 a month. That's it. All because it's super smart about using the free tiers of its database services. That is just wild.
So seeing a project go from such a complex error-filled mess to an elegant, powerful, and ridiculously cheap learning tool, it really leaves you with one final thought, doesn't it? What subject do you think desperately needs an AI-powered textbook like this next?